What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? We are talking about tonight winning time. Look, I'm here, I'm getting it in. I'm doing a triple header tonight. So I ain't got no makeup on, and it is what it is. So this is how we gonna do it. Queens is in the building, and you know who else is in the building? Harlem's in the building. Harlem's in the building. What up, pretty girl?
What's up, Moochie? How you doing, Miss the Queen of Queens? Okay.
Queens from Queens and always rooting. Yeah, how you doing, boo?
We good over here on this Monday, y'all. It's supposed to be like a Wednesday. I swear to God, this Monday is like 3 days in one. But
I feel like 3 days done went too because we've been so busy doing all of these shows. Getting it in. All of us is getting it in our little community. So we got a lot of things coming at us. And I want y'all to stay tuned because it's good. It's about to get good. It's about to get good. We talk about winning time tonight. This is episode 6, right?
Yes, BLA.
We didn't even BLA. Now let's talk about the rivalry between the Celtics and the Lakers. Pretty girl.
Okay. It's a good rivalry. Like the fact that it just still and of course it's before my time. So this is my first time realizing these things were happening, that pretty much the East did not F with LA at all. Even when Philly won, they was, over there. The Celtics was still beat LA. We don't even care. That's how much we detest LA. If it ain't our team beating them, we want somebody else from the East beating them. They are not playing with LA. They hate it. They hate it. But I love the rivalry. I mean, based on history, historical facts, the rivalry between Magic and Bird pretty much saved the NBA. So it ran real deep.
Exactly. This was when, look, I know we had to have Sunday dinner early anyway, and the kitchen had to be done because by the time that game come on, my mother was like, "No, I don't want none of this because my boys is playing tonight." So this is when you could say it is safe to jump ship as a fan when your team is not in the runnings. Am I right or wrong, pretty girl?
Yes.
I know people is diehard fans.
Yeah.
But when your team don't make it, you gotta pick. You pick who you think is next, and especially if you didn't like it. So that was real.
Facts.
With that beat LA, that was real.
That's crazy. It was.
All right, so let's get into it. I'm trying to talk for a little bit, let the people get in here. We're gonna let the people get in here. But what was your overall rating of this
episode?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna give it probably a good 8. Okay. A good solid 8. It was entertaining. We talked about some of the events last episode. We wasn't sure that it was gonna be in this episode, with Kareem and everything. So definitely some things that, we wanted to talk about came into fruition on screen. So I was happy to see that. The whole thing, with old girl, I don't know if we want to talk about it yet, but she threw me for a loop at the end of the episode. It's a lot going on.
She threw me for a loop too. We're going to get into detail with it, in a few. But she threw me for a loop too because at first I was kind of pissed off at her, but then I was like, nah, she got a right to be mad.
Yeah, I was honestly, I was torn a little bit. I was torn, but I definitely saw where she was coming from.
Right. So, all right. So I'm still trying to look, if y'all are here, please share, send it out, let us know, let them know that we on. I know it's a lot of people going live, but we're gonna keep it pushing. Anywho, we're gonna get here where it starts off. The Lakers win a championship. They won 2 years back to back. And then they're up against the Sixers. And the Sixers, Moses Malone made a prediction. We talking about the prediction. And what the prediction was 4-4. He wanted to do it in 4.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, my brother's in the room.
Shout out
Listen,
to
remember when I get my brother in, he
shout
be
out to
giving me
Brother
my
Booty.
trivia questions. So
I didn't know about the prediction. Go ahead.
yeah, so Moses Malone made a prediction. He was saying 4-4 in the 4, like something like that. That's how he was predicting it.
Oh.
But the prediction, it actually came out. It ain't even no dudes in, so I don't even know how this is gonna play out. But the actual ended up being 4-5. It was 5. They wanted in 5 instead of 4. So there's nobody here, but that was the trivia question.
No, that's fine. That's fine. They'll catch the replay.
So that's what that was. But they lose. So now they're trying to re-strategize. And West comes up with this. He's got his starting 5 on that blackboard, on a green board. We hear about Byron Scott and a 7-foot Sweden. I can't remember the name. And then we hear about Donald Sterling and the I guess he called it a lower budget version of the Lakers. He said something similar to that, because he said that about the Clippers.
Yeah. So they kind of, I mean, they have definitely moved up in their reputation, but it's still second to LA. LA has always been the Lakers always been a priority.
Exactly. So when they put them on, they're not gonna take Kareem. As much as Kareem want to go, they're not gonna get rid of Kareem. They're not gonna get rid of Magic. So you got Jamal Wilkes. That's from Cornbird Earl and me, if y'all don't remember that. Anywho, then you got Norman Nixon, right? And then you have, I forgot his name, but I remember him from the glasses. I used to, he's with the guy with the glasses. I can't think of his name right now. But they have him where he's gonna end up, he gonna have to trade one of his starters to get this 7, to get Byron Scott and Rampus. Okay. So did you figure this was gonna already be an automatic? They was gonna get rid of Norm?
Well, from a previous episode, I was kind of digging because I was doing some because I was curious about a couple of things when it came to Norm. So I ended up, realizing he was eventually going to go to the Clippers. I just wasn't quite sure how that came about. So now it's kind of giving me the background, because there was something else that happened in a prior episode. I was nosy, so I was Googling, doing some research on Norm, and then I realized eventually he did start, went to the Clippers, but I wasn't sure, like I said, how it played out. So now this is what I'm figuring out. Okay, now they're doing.
For some reason, I thought he stayed with them longer.
How long? He was here for a few years, though.
Okay, so if Fame was out, I'm going by the TV show, that had to be 83, 84, something like that.
Because of course, West was his coach, so we know it's been at least a few seasons. So he was there for a minute. I'm just trying to.
That was the first team he started with. He didn't know if he was going to even make it. He said when he was talking to Debbie Allen.
Yeah. So he started. Norm Nixon became a Laker from the 77-78 season, and he went to the Clippers in the 83-84 season. So he was with LA for 6 seasons. What's up, HEA? What's up, Little Rock? You got a super chat?
What's up, Little Rock? Oh, thank you for the super chat, Chanel. Thank you. Look. Stay tuned for the finale. We will be doing the finale. The finale is actually next week.
Yep.
And this snuck up on me because I wasn't aware that, and Pretty Girl, she have her thing down to a T. But I sometimes I'll be flying by the seat of my pants. But anywho,
I can't.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, because we expected 10 episodes. So I mean, that's the norm. I thought
we were gonna get 10.
That's the norm. No pun intended.
Okay, she said, you remember Norm? Oh yeah, he did appear on Fame dancing in Central Park. That's right. And I think we're gonna get to that part because I feel like his teammates might have put the battery in the back for him to get traded too. Because the little side conversations when they was out, you can hear the hateration. You know what I mean? And it wasn't even that time. It wasn't even Magic. It was the other teammates.
So you took that side talk as that being okay. I didn't see it as that, but you know, maybe
I saw it as they like, yeah, he not focused, and this if he was playing, you know, he's not focused on playing. So I feel like I don't think he contribute. I think he. How can I say it?
I mean, they kind of insinuated that during this scene with the board. You know, they was like, you know, Wilkes played his behind off last season, and he don't give us no problems. So you already know they was talking about Norm. Norm always, you know, he didn't hold his tongue for nothing. And you know, he kind of pushed back sometimes. So by that scene, I could see, you know, he was probably, you know, he's probably all in love with Debbie, you know, just not focused. So I could see all those things in combination could insinuate that he wasn't really up to par in terms of his game, but he was still tradable because we still was able to see some value in him.
Exactly. So moving on,
Storm and Norman.
Now look, we read Debbie Allen. This girl looks a lot like her too.
Yeah, they did.
It made me think. Well, I know I know. I don't. Do she got a daughter? I don't know.
Yeah, they have kids.
Yeah. So yeah, but when I saw this, I was like, Dad, he actually dancing with his mother.
I know. I was like, it's so hilarious. I wonder if even the actress like, hey, you know, I don't know how much, you know, Debbie was involved, but Norm, you know, if she wasn't, Norm was like, hey, Ma, you know, my scene mate wants to know, like, you know, how you was shaking that thing back in the day, how you was moving and grooving, like.
Come on, if you saw, you know what movie I liked when she was dancing it, and it was only for a couple of minutes, but you could tell. You know how you be at a party where you get your song and you having a good time grooving and dancing. When she was in JoJo Dancer and they played that money, 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 and she was dancing with that, she reminded me of that in this scene. She did it good. She did a good job.
I love that.
Look, okay, so he finds out. I'm gonna go to the next scene. We find out that Cookie is coming to LA to look for not LA, San Diego, right?
Yeah.
To look for a job. And Magic comes to where she's going to I think it was some sort of expo or something where they
like a little conference. Yeah.
Right. So do you think she got the job behind his antics?
Definitely. I wanted to know your thoughts on that because honestly, if Magic didn't come in, she wasn't gonna get the job. They was not feeling her. She was thinking she was a small town Negro. She wasn't gonna be able to really, you know, facilitate, you know, in a bigger scale like LA. So honestly, Magic kind of got the job, but normally I would think Cookie will feel away, but it looked like she kind of didn't mind, you know, getting that kind of that perk from, you know,
exactly. And she was, even though he's like, this is my girl, she didn't stop it. I'm not sure she didn't do none of that.
No.
I believe when they would, before he even came there, they was finishing her sentence because they all heard it all before. Everything she was saying, they heard all before. Yeah. So she wasn't really getting anywhere with that interview. I think they would have been like, okay, you know, nice talking to you. We'll be in touch. One of those things. So yeah, I believe that. And she got the job because of him and she knows it.
Yeah, because she wasn't even qualified. She said, no, you know, I don't have managerial experience. Like off rip, you know, you starting over what you don't have. You know, so that didn't help at all because you already know how we flow, you know. When we got the melanin, and sometimes, you know, we got to work twice as hard. We got to be just as good. And sometimes that don't even help. So the fact that you're already coming in and, you know, not qualifying for this position and, you know, you're not even in LA, you basing off your experience from, you know, Michigan, that, you know, that is the tell-all at that point. So Magic definitely saved it.
So now he finds out on his birthday that he's traded. So he planned the party and everything with this. And she, to me, she was kind of letting him know everything ends. So she letting him know when it's time to make your next move.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, he had most of his. Even Magic didn't want him to be traded like that because he knew most of his life was in LA. He had those stores. You know, he had businesses and stuff like that. He was doing other stuff than the NBA to get an income.
Yeah.
So he showed him. I can say it like this: he showed Magic the smart part of the business in a way that is other things to do besides basketball.
You're right.
And I like that he dropped those gems on him.
Yeah.
I also like the way he talked to Jerry West. Let him know. What's your take on it, bro?
Yeah, I liked it too. Because we never really got that background per se. You know, he told West, you know, like, you know, you the one made me a Laker, but I know you never liked me. Mm-hmm. But I respect it, and I know you was probably most likely behind the decision to trade me. So he kept it real. You know, Norman ain't gonna really. He's not gonna hold his tongue. But I am happy at the fact that he at least get to stay in LA. That's the bright side of it, because that doesn't happen very often. You often don't have two teams in one city. So I am happy about that. But yeah, I never, honestly, just thinking about this show, I never really got that West didn't care for Norman like that. Like, I don't know, it never clicked to me that he wasn't really a fan of Norm. Because he honestly recruited him, but sometimes I think it was probably more of a personality thing.
I think it was. I think they clashed because you're not going to son him.
Yeah.
You're not going to treat him like he's a man, and he's going to let you know he's a man.
Yeah.
And you're not going to talk to him any kind of way.
Yeah.
And he's going to express himself. So that's probably why he wanted to get rid of him, because he wasn't falling in line like that. Mm-hmm. And I guess it was too many egos.
Yeah.
So I that's how I feel with that. But yeah. I'm going to go to the chat. We're going to answer a couple of questions, and then we're going to move on to the next thing. So Shauna Lewis says Norm wasn't looking sad when they lost. He was dancing with Debbie Allen. You absolutely right. He ain't have a care in the world. I think that's probably why the teammates was saying that like that. Like they like he ain't even like, missing one step with this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a good call, Shauna. Yeah, definitely. But I do love, I'm not sure if I know we have the track shoes sometimes, but I do appreciate, even though I'm going to be, because that part of me is like, dang, Norm, this is pretty much kind of the end of him at least being on every episode. So I am feeling the way as a viewer, like, dang, I'm going to miss him. But
Me too. That's why I thought he was going to be here longer.
Me too.
I really did. I thought he was going to be here longer. Where I was like, dang.
I know.
I want to know, you know what I was thinking, pretty girl? Because he said it before. He talked to his father before he do certain scenes. So I wonder if that conversation really happened, or was that an improv? Was it at an improvisation?
With him and Debbie, or?
No, with him and Jerry West.
Oh, It could have been that, or it could have been something that his dad really wanted to say to Jerry and never said it.
Thank you. That's why I was like, I wonder, you know how you be like, yo, you know what I was, you know how you be telling a story with somebody,
exactly.
And I said, they be like, you said that? And you be like, nah, I was just thinking it though. You know, it'd be some, you know what I'm saying?
That is fire though, because you kind of get a sense of relief, through this. Like, that's kind of a unique situation that you
gotta exactly.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, you got a situation, you know how he got a do-over with this.
Yes, exactly. Like, that's kind of fire, to be honest.
Yeah, boy, just do it just like that and leave it on the floor.
Exactly.
And if he improvised it and it looked good like that, they're gonna keep it. That's not gonna go to the
Yep.
cutting room floor.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it didn't. We don't know if it really happened or if it happened. But you know what? They probably talked about it in the podcast. You know what? I'm gonna check out this thing this week since it's on you, and I'm gonna do my little digging, and I have the FYI on you. Okay. So what's up, Jermaine? Hey, he said, you could take it, pretty girl.
Okay, so see, this is why PG and Moochie make a great team to put this together. I didn't think of that, but that's a good theory. We be over here thinking.
All right,
these brain cells ain't going to waste.
No. Thank you. So moving on, before we go to the next subject. Oh no, we're gonna go to the next clip.
Child,
it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess and it's stinking. What's your take on it?
Honestly, with this whole honey thing, I didn't know where it was going to end. I didn't know where it was going to land. Honestly, was feeling more positive about it because she was kind of, when he first got her, she was, living a humble life with the kids, seemed like, she was a, what's the word I'm looking for? Humanitarian. She was talking about donating the funds from the ring to like a little cause. So it looks like she was on the right path. And Bussy's on the phone talking about, Donald Sterling and the team. And she ain't even been home yet. She was out all night drinking and drugging. Shout out to her.
Yes, the first, and she was going out for a while. So I was like, you know what? I'm like, is she messing around? That's what I'm saying at first. So at first I was having a bad, I'm like, oh, she all over the place. Like running circles around him and spending the money. That's what I'm thinking she was doing. But come to find out, he didn't even file divorce from the last time.
Yeah, that's crazy because one, and I know that people do that, but like, is that truly like that? Yeah, every state is different when it comes to legalities of marriage, and I have heard of situations where people get married and they not divorced, but where are the checks and balances? Like, what? How did this slip through the cracks? I don't know. Maybe she was just focused on the ceremony and they didn't even do a marriage license, or they did a marriage license and it just slipped. Like it's I don't know what's going on when it comes to this situation, but that makes sense because he signed a team over. Well, see, maybe I was confusing the facts because his ex-wife was, he signed a team over to her. Me thinking that, I'm thinking they're probably divorced because that kind of excludes him from any issue. So I would assume that they did get divorced, but apparently they didn't. Like, I don't know. It kind of threw me off. Like, what's going on here? I'm in the Matrix.
I feel like they got a divorce, but keep in mind, Bus was used to his mother handling his paperwork.
That's true.
And when she got sick, that's how stuff started getting behind. Remember, that's how he found out. And this was probably one of the things that fell to the wayside.
Child, that paper was
on. And I feel like he should have been able to explain that to her.
Yeah. So how do you feel about it?
I don't think they're over though, because I heard they had 2 kids.
Okay.
So we might see this girl later.
That's the thing. So how do you feel? Let's talk about this, Moochie, because I at first, when I'm like, come on, girl, like he loves you, he's living with you, like it's just a legal thing. But at the same time, I was like, okay, I had to check myself because I had to put myself in her shoes. I would be feeling a way like, bro, what are we doing here? First of all, you're not taking care of business. You still got your wife, your ex-wife. Well, not even ex-wife, but your first wife, all up in the paperwork. How do you feel about it? Because I was honestly, I was torn in between the two.
First of all, I'm loving your Suge Knight reference. All in the paperwork. Listen, I feel like I think it was something, a clerical error, because he's not used to handling stuff like that.
Yeah.
And his daughter, if he told his daughter, she wasn't feeling her in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she didn't file it. Who knows?
Yeah. But I think with honey, Sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it. It's on you.
I think with her, in a sense, she was kind of looking for an out anyway. Because she was always upset about him focusing on the team, not on her. And, you know, she was already out there drinking and drugging and, you know, in the hills, you know, doing a little lines, probably with, you know, Richard Pryor and them, who knows, was up in there.
You know?
Look, you already know it was a small Hollywood small.
You know he liked the swirl. All right, the swirl and the cocoa.
So I think this was her perfect. You know how sometimes you kind of stick around.
What? This is my out, right?
Yeah, like this is my out. This is my little stage, my little moment, my little Angela Bassett moment or whatever have you. You know, I can go ahead and make my little cute exit, and he truly would be at fault in a sense. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. He got exit stage left.
Honey. honey ain't sweet no more.
Look, all right, I'm gonna go back to the chat because I'm gonna get to you later, Ray Howland. I got you started, so don't go nowhere because we're gonna discuss that because that's a very important part of this episode. Moving on. Okay, so Monique, she said, I was wondering, did he get a divorce from his wife? Because I don't remember it officially happened in season 1. You're absolutely right. I'm thinking it was supposed to happen at the time when his mother was getting sick. Because remember, she started suffering from dementia in the beginning, and that's how she was forgetting to do the paperwork and stuff like that. She I think she forgot to pay taxes on the house or something like that.
She was forgetting a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, she was forgetting a lot of stuff. And she said, and I know he was only married once. I think he is gonna marry this woman again, but I know they have 2 kids. I know that for a fact. She said, man, listen, the ex is asking for $1 million. We need more details here. We gonna get to that. And you know what? When we get to that part where he gets served, I'm gonna try to explain something. And I think Pretty Girl could probably elaborate on it. I know she's gonna piggyback off of what I'm saying and elaborate even more. But we'll get to it. So I'm gonna start that one too. Anyway, she changed her life situation for him. Yeah, she definitely. Yeah. I can hear Tamika voice with this. That don't make sense.
We need to drop Tamika with your voice saying that don't make sense.
He better look at his mother papers and see what she left behind. Word up.
It's probably in storage somewhere.
All right, so with this, I feel like she had a right to leave.
Yeah, she did.
Now, my brother says that this happened during the playoffs. It didn't happen because it was like, you know how they have where they win like a I think it's like, you know how they win something before they go to the playoffs.
It's the conference finals. So
yeah, he's saying it happened during the playoffs.
Yeah, I believe they had it lined up like that
during the playoffs. So he said the timeline doesn't match here. He wrote
really?
That. Yeah, he told me. He wrote it down.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not saying I didn't believe him, but I was just
I mean, you could check if you got a fact check.
No, I don't know that. I believe your brother. I'm just
all right.
I just have to go back, but yeah.
So his house burnt down. His house burnt down, and they was talking about his extensive record collection, which was destroyed in there. And his family was in the house at the time when it happened. His wife and his son. And I think he might have been coming back from the road when all of this happened.
Yeah, possibly. Because he was a homebody, so we know he wasn't at nobody club. He was out
like that.
But did your brother ever mention, like, did they investigate how it started?
They said it was some type of electrical fire. It was an electrical fire.
Okay.
And at that time, this is the reason why he ended up playing all those years. Remember, I think I explained this to you. I might have talked about this last season.
You talked about it.
That what would possibly happen. It was electrical fire. He didn't have insurance on the house because his accountant or whoever he had in charge of that, no insurance. So basically, he had to pay to put that house back together if they was gonna stay there. And to top it off, that was the reason why he had to stay. That's the reason why he played all of it so long. He was talking about retiring soon at the beginning of this episode, and that's when I guess his agent was talking about how they was complaining about his disposition and how he is with fans and how he is with interviews and all of that other stuff.
More of a personality.
And he's basically he don't want to be he's not he didn't want to be a celebrity player.
No.
Where you like the face. He's the face of the team though. He's Cap.
Yeah.
But it was telling him about his disposition, and I think this was the turning point for him. This was the turning point for him with the whole thing with how everybody came forward with those records,
it was touching.
And how they basically know his life.
Yeah.
And I think it really touched him because at first he wasn't even trying to hear all of that. No. He wasn't even trying to hear, like, I'm not doing no interviews. That was the first thing he said when he walked in there. But once he had that was the truth. What was the record? Who was the artist? You remember the artist on this record? You can barely see it, so I
wrote it down. It's on top of my head, but I know I wrote it down. Oh,
I got it.
Oh yeah, I got it. I couldn't remember the first name for a second, but I got it.
Anybody know the name of the artist? He's I'll just give it to y'all. He's black and it's jazz. But he had pop hits.
Yeah, that was touching.
He had a lot of hits. He's a artist that's done a lot of things.
He's up there. While we waiting on the chat, the one thing I must say, and I understand as a celebrity, you know, especially an athlete, you're always on the go, always busy. But just maybe just my personality, even though I have a team, it's just specific things I need to verify is done. Like the insurance, I don't want to blame him, but I'm just saying it's just, you know, we just entrust in people so much to where one thing goes wrong and then we just left to ish. You know what I'm saying?
Like one thing goes wrong and then it's a domino effect.
Yeah.
And this was a domino effect with him because this made him have to play even longer. And he was already playing through a lot of injuries and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And then they was telling him he was about to make the highest score. He was about to break a record that year. And it was like they worried about his disposition and not this basketball record that he was about to break.
Yeah. And that's what matters more to him, not being a personality, not what Magic is doing, not trying to be endorsement. He wanted to play ball. What's up, Brick City?
What's up?
But yeah, and we see also with Bus, he trusted, of course, his mom is a little different, but sometimes personally, you have to just verify ish on your own. You know, things get left behind, but it's crazy.
So in the Western Conference,
it's Herbie Hancock. People, sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but people.
I was gonna say it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. Nah, you good. You good.
I didn't want to forget. I'll forget.
But look at all them records he came in there with.
I loved it. I wanted to cry.
Me too. I did. I was like, you know how you get, like that.
Yeah.
You have your girls mushy moment.
They was genuinely like concerned and care. Like, how many people gonna go to the record store, spend their own money for a person that's already quote unquote rich? You know what I'm saying? And really just show out like that. That's love. Like that's love.
Yeah. So they win this, but they got a lot of people getting ready to come at him. Them pretty girl. What's your take on it? Now you got. Keep in mind the first coach. Now he's with the Sacramento Kings. Remember they was talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, are we gonna see him face off with? Are we gonna see them face off and see them play their previous coaches like we saw them play Norm?
Yeah, we saw McKinney 2 episodes ago, I believe. When Shakespeare, I'm gonna call him Shakespeare. Westhead, when he was over there hating. I don't know. I was thinking about Westhead because they did mention him.
But he seemed like he was scared to play them.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna play. Because who else is there? What other coaches there that they would? Because the other guy didn't end up going because of the mob.
He caught a bullet to the skull. So
and there's West, so he's there. So I don't know. I don't think so. But I'm no expert. I know a little something, just a little bit for my era. So a little something.
All right, so now I'm gonna go back to this because I thought I had the picture, but it's not there. I hate when that happens.
No, you good.
But now Magic and Cookie, they were engaged for a long time, and I'm trying not to. It can't be a spoiler because it's kind of like following real life.
Yeah,
they did not get married till 91.
Yeah, that's why I was realizing, like, oh, they got married in 91 because I was, doing some Googles. I actually found their own little wedding pictures that was cute. But I was like, yeah, and that's the thing I wanted to talk to you about. Maybe we'll talk about in the finale. Because I'm trying to remember the time. Well, not remember the timeline.
I remember the timeline
because I was, still young, so I wasn't really following like that. But I just want to know how it all came about with the diagnosis and, just how she was able to escape it. I mean, we can talk about that.
That's the part I don't understand. We're gonna save that conversation for the finale because I want to have like a little whole illustration and stuff. All right, so look,
the timeline.
You get that together. I'll get the little.
Okay, I'm gonna do my
sprinkles together with trivia and all of that.
Let me get my little sticky note. Don't tell my job. Don't tell my job I'm using my sticky note.
So moving back to look. Okay, so you know what? I can't with you. Y'all get ready to sing it too. Do you remember? Yeah, because he was in that video. Yes, you right. He was in that video before that happened. You are so right. I'm playing around with you. You got me getting ready to sing this. On the beach, you and me.
I used to kill. I knew that choreography, child. On the beach, you and me. Sorry. That's gonna be my head all night.
That's gonna be. Look, thanks a lot, man.
Who do I have to blame for that? Who I have to blame?
You gotta blame him. This is who you gotta blame.
Torian, yeah, it will be you. I'm blaming you, bro. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to watch the video too.
Me too. Yeah, that's right. He was in the video, but that was before the diagnosis and all of that. That was.
What was the diagnosis? I thought it was 91.
I'm going to tell you exactly when it happened because I remember I was at work and people was like, guess what? It was like something like that in the middle, like towards the end of the evening, like before you get off of work. And that's when he came through with the news. It was 91 because I know my son was a baby. That's when I was working. Yeah. So that's how I remember it. So
all right, so we're gonna come back for the finale.
We'll come back for the finale, and we're gonna give you a breakdown with the timeline of that.
You have to get a graphic or something.
Yeah, they got married right before that. HEA, you want? No, they got married before. Yep, HEA got it. They got married before, but we're gonna talk about that.
But I just it just be
curious.
And
I believe they were engaged and then they broke it off and then they got back together. It was something like that. They was engaged. They broke it off and then they got back together.
Okay, we're
gonna do it. I'm gonna do an extensive, a little digging.
Yeah, depending on how much the finale in there, because we may have to do like a review of the episode and talk about it. So we're gonna see how much the finale got going.
Me and her gonna have to group together and brainstorm. And
I have to have my people call your people.
Yeah, and brainstorm.
Oh gosh, I can't
brainstorm. Anyway, Magic Mary Cookie. Yes, exactly. Look, we're gonna discuss the timeline. So come back next week. Mm-hmm. We will be discussing the timeline. They supposed to play the Celtics because we're gonna see that. Mm-hmm. And hopefully we see if they're gonna have. I want them to have a next season because we're not hearing the good feedback with this.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that because I feel like the fact that we only got 7 episodes, it don't feel like a good sign for me because I can't really blame that on COVID per se. I don't know. Like, it's not making me feel good that we only got 7 episodes. Like, I don't know what to think about that.
I feel like with this, the reason why you feel like it was crunched and rushed, maybe because of the strike, y'all. The strike has affected a lot of things.
Probably was done before that, though.
I believe it was, but you know how they say we're gonna go to 10, and then the strike might have happened, but these were already done. Because remember, the writers' strike started in May.
It really has been that long?
Yeah.
Okay.
The writers' strike started in May, so we're not even talking about the actors yet. So if the writers stop, if the writers ain't there, this is where you are with it.
I didn't realize it was since May. It still feel like 1 or 2 hours. I mean, not
hours. Shoot, you tell them people how they complaining about them residual checks they getting and stuff. Okay.
Where's pennies out
there. Pennies and stuff like that. Checks that say 000. Why send it? You know,
if y'all gonna do that, just direct deposit me my money.
That would piss me off. You imagine you getting a check, and when you open that motherfucker, it say 000 or to be continued or something like that.
No, something similar. It's not the same, but I got a ticket. I think I was in. It was from how the cameras that get you. So we went to DC. I believe it was DC, and they mailed me a ticket because we wasn't in the carpool. We was in the carpool lane. It was something weird because some states or cities, it's hard to determine what's the carpool lane or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they mailed us a ticket for like $1 or some change. I'm like, come on, y'all spent more than that with the stamp, with the postage, the paper, the person that it took, like, to do all that. Don't send me no ticket for no $1, no change. Get out of my face. Sorry, I got PTSD real quick.
I know you was getting ready to have a little meltdown over that ticket. You had to be like, wait, hold up. You traumatized, so you revisiting the whole move. You revisiting. You revisiting opening the whole letter and be like, what you mean I got a ticket? Look, what you mean I got a ticket? A ticket, carpool lane. What you about?
I'm about to get a little ticket going. Oh.
So I'll be mad when y'all get a ticket too, and they be like, when they show your card, what can you say? You be like, damn, that was me.
I know, right? Yeah, that's my plate.
You be like, damn, that was me.
Oh, then I get upset and pay the little thing, but all right, we can move on. Sorry, right. My vent session. It was therapeutic.
What? Okay, we talked about Kareem's speech, but do you have anything else you want to say about that?
About Kareem or about anything else? Sorry.
About the speech itself, the speech that Kareem made when he came in with the records. You good?
No, I just feel like it was a turning point. I feel like when you're faced with adversity, it changes you, and even though there's some, it's just like him crying with holding the child. Like, you could tell what all's going through his mind. Of course, we don't know if it exactly happened like that, in real life, but just the thought of you finding out your house on fire, you can't get in contact. We didn't have cell phones back then, so you can't get in contact with your family. So that can really change a person. We already know he's very religious or spiritual, I should say. So yeah, that changed him. So Kareem, I feel like he's putting his captain hat on for real, because he's had the title, but he kind of seemed like he lost that mojo for a while, at least since Magic's been in the mix.
Yeah. One of my pictures ain't show up, but he gets served with these papers.
Ugh.
And he sued for $100 million. And I believe he's being sued for that because they feel like he got it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the wife that's doing it. I think it's the new husband.
So you mean to tell me she had somebody else at the time?
Yeah, because remember, she's married too. His ex-wife.
Oh, the ex-wife is, I think.
Yeah, the ex-wife is married, and they're suing him for $100 million.
No, it said Honey. The paperwork showed Honey.
So Honey,
Veronica Honey something. So that's
Honey. Then that's the ex-wife. She's suing him.
Well, not ex. Well, you mean the second wife?
The bigamist, because basically.
Okay.
So she's suing him for $100 million, but I think he's gonna be able to talk her out of it.
Yeah, and then you know how people are. They start high, and then and she probably won about 20, but she's starting at 100, so they have some negotiation room. So I think that's her little tactic too. Because he ain't got it, of course. But I was just curious to actually, what is the what is the basis of this case? I just need to know exactly what she's claiming. I say she doesn't have a case, but I just want to know.
She's probably gonna be like, I changed my whole life, like somebody said in the chat. I changed my whole life to be with this man. I moved across country and So
she gonna play it up. She gonna play it up.
I want to be paid for the embarrassment. The embarrassment that I went through. I walked down the aisle with this man.
Because you know how most people have like alimony and spousal support. So technically, she may not have access to get that since he was still married. So, but you,
I want to know how long were they really married? Well, I want to know how long was they married before we find out this.
Probably a couple months, but people be playing it up, child. I've been accustomed to a certain lifestyle.
Because come on, you go in a mansion, and now here you go back to your little apartment and wherever.
Girl, and I thought, it's gonna be our forever. So they want to get paid for what they thought they would have been, needing to survive till they die. So it's all in games. But I want to see this play out, because y'all gotta do this in one episode. Y'all better give us some closure, because I don't know.
So now that they saying this, do you feel like they bunched everything up in one episode? They bunched everything up too fast? Because it was like we played. It was like a season every episode.
Yeah, that's true too, Brick City. But to me, it still didn't feel rushed to me.
It didn't feel rushed to me.
But I must say, a couple episodes felt choppy. Like it didn't flow. Like it just felt like we were going from here to here to here. Like it was hard to like. Really, yeah, it was like, I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, okay, what year is this? What we do? Like, it was too much cutting, which I'm not used to that because the first season wasn't like that. So now,
no, it wasn't.
That we realize it's only 7 episodes. Maybe that's why they was doing all that.
Yeah, we thinking it was 10. Today we like it's only 7, and I'm thinking I'm gonna be on for 3 more with you.
Me too. I was just like, what do you mean?
Damn, we just got together for this. But we know next year we doing it together, right?
Yes, we are.
Anywho, we doing it together. We doing it big, and it's gonna be like it's pretty girl. It's Harlem and Queens.
Yes, may give me a little cheerleading uniform or something.
All right. So we talked about what your overall. I'm liking the season. I'm liking the series. I wish it was longer now. She said it was a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah, that was kind of like a little. It was a lot jumping going around. And I even Googled. I'm like, how far is LA in San Diego? It's only 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So I had to question because California long as I don't know what.
I was wondering if he flew there or something.
Because they don't really see him drive, but he could have flew. It's 2 hours, so yeah, he could have flew there. I'm glad he did, though. I'm glad he showed up. Like, what did you think? Because we saw his face when we saw Norm and Debbie dancing, and you know, Magic was over there with the salty face drinking his Coca-Cola or whatever it was. Like, do you think that was part of it too? Like him seeing Norm, you know, being happy with his boo in love. Like, you think that was part of it?
Yeah, because he was happy in love. You know, keep in mind before he's getting it, but it's just random chicks that just want him because he's Magic Johnson, not because he's Irvin.
Yeah,
so I think that's what he's starting to see now. The lights have dimmed down, and now he's seeing what really matters, because that's what he was telling her, you know, as far as what he wants with her. So that's how I feel about the situation.
Yeah, it seemed like, not say he was immature, but it seemed like it really quickly he matured a lot for some reason. Like, I don't know, like maybe did that happen in real life? But of course, they was engaged for a long time. So apparently, if they broke it off, he was still out there in them streets.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Look, he was still out there in them streets.
So he probably really didn't mature. He just learned
how to hide it better.
We
see how they do.
We see you, man.
No, you know how they do. So look, I'm gonna round it off because, you know, like I said, I got a busy night.
Yes, we both have.
You got a busy night yourself.
Yeah.
Tell them what you doing, pretty girl.
At 9:30, I'm discussing Top Boy, the finale, season 5, episode 6. It's a slept-on show, y'all. If y'all don't know about Top Boy, please watch it. I mean, it's 5 seasons, but it's probably one of the best crime shows. Like, it's best the show in this genre. Like, it's such a good show. And I'm sad to see it goes. It was the last episode. So stay tuned for that. I will be doing a live later on in the week.
I didn't even watch it. I only watched 3 episodes.
I know
I only watched 3 episodes, and I told you, I said I'll be finished by Tuesday. You said, I don't think you're gonna miss the train with this one, love.
Well, if you come on, you know, I'm planning on talking about it on Thursday night. So if you finish by then, let me know. But yes, it's definitely a good show. So I have that at 9:30. And yeah, Thursday we're going to be talking about Top Boy a little more.
I think I could finish by Thursday night. Okay. I think I can.
Okay.
So I'm getting, look, it's 9:10 now, 9:15, back here on my channel. We're going to be talking about The Chi. Come through. Let me just, you know, I'm drinking coffee. I'm even moving on coffee tonight. You hear my New York accent, the coffee, all right? I'm drinking my coffee tonight because I know I needed the energy for y'all. So we gonna chop it up, talk about The Chi. Pretty Girl Thursday, Top Boy, season finale. She's gonna have she's gonna have something special. You know, she always does it up.
You know,
all right. So she's gonna be talking about that Thursday, and you know it's 8:15 with the Trap Queen. So that's when she doing it. So tune in, keep your notifications on. If you are not subscribed to Pretty Girl's channel, she does Sunday Trap Church, talking about power, force, or anything in the power universe. That's her day, Sunday. So you can have your breakfast, go to Trap Church, put on your TV, and listen to Michael. All right, that's her little thing. All right.
I love my community. Y'all be giving me like some good ass commercials.
All right, so look, holla at your girl. Put your notifications on. She gonna be there on Sunday at the pulpit.
Well,
with her little sermon, okay? So y'all, it's gonna be fans, napkins, and all of that stuff, because you know I get hot in church. It's still kind of summerish.
And I got some old lady candies.
All right, yeah, the one that make the
strawberry joint.
Open it up.
Like, get that out of here, Grandma. What you talking about?
All right, so that's our show. We be back. I'll be back in 3 minutes to do The Chi. So look, click into that. I'm coming through. All right. Thanks for coming out, y'all. God bless y'all, and have a good night, y'all.